Hello and welcome. On January 27, 2026, India and the European Union signed their largest ever free trade agreement, creating a single market covering about 2 billion people and roughly 25% of global GDP. A deal being called the mother of all trade deals. This free trade agreement, concluded after nearly 20 years of negotiations, links the world's fourth largest economy with the second largest economic bloc and marks the biggest trade pact India has ever signed. It was formally inked in New Delhi on January 27, 2026, with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen leading the ceremony. Creates a trade zone of about 2 billion consumers, represents around 25% of world GDP. Expected to double EU exports to India by 2030. Experts say this is India's largest and most strategic trade pact yet, reshaping global commerce and economic alliances. The EU will progressively eliminate tariffs on about 99% of traded goods by value. European products like cars, wines, chocolates and machinery will become cheaper in India over time, with many duties falling to near zero. India will grant zero tariff access to the EU market for key Indian exports such as textiles, gems and jewelry, leather, marine products, chemicals and footwear, boosting global competitiveness. With zero tariff access to EU markets, Indian exporters stand to gain huge new opportunities. Gems and jewelry could grow significantly, especially after steep US tariffs harmed shipments last year. Local industries in places like Panipat and Jaipur have already expressed optimism, especially now that duties on Indian garments and jewelry going into the EU are set to be removed or reduced. Particularly in labor-intensive sectors. The United States has not reached a similar trade deal with India and has been critical of India's tariff policies in recent years. In some cases, up to 50% imposed on Indian exports, especially in textiles and related goods. While India is working to diversify its trade relationships, US officials have expressed disappointment that the EU is prioritizing a trade pact with India without coordinating policies, especially amid wider global tensions. This dynamic underlines how global power equations in trade are shifting, with India pursuing a balanced global economic strategy that strengthens ties with Europe while managing complex relations with the US and other partners. Economists say this deal isn't just about tariffs, it's about strengthening supply chains and geopolitical partnerships. It sends a signal that rules-based trade cooperation is still powerful, even as some nations resort to protectionist policies. For India, this FTA is a key part of its broader international strategy, balancing relations with the EU, US, and other global powers, while exporting more goods and services and integrating more deeply into global value chains.